7, 8, 9 due up for the Cardinals in the home fifth, already with a 6-0 lead. There was a little trouble in the top half of the fifth inning. Tate Keener had the bags full, and he got Alex Tappan to a strikeout swinging. Oh, man, the fist bump. Do we have another look at it? I would advise, Mike, Will Zalatoris, maybe later tonight before his final round in Tulsa, to just watch that highlight, kind of soak in its essence. If he was to mimic that on the 18th hole tomorrow, I think he'll have nailed it.
Yes. That was strong.
That was, winning putt at Augusta, 18th hole like. That was fantastic. The execution, I think the creativity, the storyboarding behind it, A+. The execution gets an A+. He really nailed it. This is Matt Wyatt back out for his first full inning of work. He retired Levi Usher, the only man he faced in the fourth. And we basically got a full 360 out of that as well. So, well done, Tate Keener. Almost like a 270 out of it.
Yes. I was worried with the pitchers. That's a lot of energy expired on that move there. Like, somebody get him a wet towel, and we're going to refresh Tate Keener in the dugout right now.
That really was reminiscent. Like, that was Tiger Woods' extra day 08 U.S. Open at Torrey Pines. If you remember that putt he sank, and then it was the two-handed fist bump. That was very similar. So Tate Keener, he knows his history. Yes.
That's strong.
Well done. 3-2 bounced over to Ortiz. One away in the fifth. Mike, how is your handicap?
It is
You've
infinite.
Yeah, you're kind of like the number of courses that you have at your disposal. And I was thinking there's
love golf, but this stage of life is not my golf time. I feel like my golf time to shine is 20 years from now, Fitz.
That's a long-term plan.
That's what I'm telling myself.
I mentioned Zalatoris. He holds the lead at Southern Hills after 2 rounds, although don't forget about the Chilean. Mito Pereira is right behind him, 1 stroke behind the leader. That's foul. Well, thank you to Bobby Blankenship. Justin Thomas as well, Mike. Louisville native. He's 3 shots off the lead.
There you go.
Well, tell me, what were you thinking? I'm curious.
Well, I was thinking, speaking of Louisville, if I'm Dan McDonnell and I'm seeing what Tate Keener's done here, and he's been a starter, Carter Lohman, as good as the stuff was, boy, he really struggled yesterday. And, Carson Liggett, there was a lot to like there, but gosh, it was, they got him out of there so fast. So, it's if you're Dan McDonnell, like, it's go time. ACC tournament next week and then regionals and on. I don't know, like, is Poland and then Lohman and Liggett, is that the rotation going forward? Or, because I'll tell you, here's the one thing, Fitz. Louisville's in a stage of the season where if you win 2 out of 3, you can go a lot of fun places. I don't know that Louisville can fix their pitching to the point of, hey, we got a chance to sweep people every weekend.
That's hammered into center, a base hit for Isaac Humphrey.
And so I don't know what the answer is. Do I like – so the nice thing about having Tate Keener in the bullpen is if you're really focused on winning 2 out of 3 every weekend – and you feel great about Michael Prosecki at the end, and you feel great about Jaron Poland in game 1, Tate Keener, you can hold him in the bullpen and just let the series tell you when to pitch him. Meaning, like, is Game 2 the winnable game, or is Game 3 the winnable game? So I really like that part about it, but you know, the Lohman and Liggett certainly don't have their sea legs underneath of them quite yet as starters.
Yeah, Lohman yesterday did not make it out of the third. 4 hits and 4 walks. And the walks have been problematic for the lefty at times this year. Well, you know, and as a regional is playing out, of course, the super regional, you lock into one opponent, but boy, as that regional weekend is playing out, and it does appear as if Louisville, I mean, it looks like it's got a regional host responsibility kind of locked in a sense. Super regional, we'll wait and see if it winds up hosting both. Right now projected, according to D1 Baseball, as the number 8 national seed, and that means, of course, you host a regional and a potential super regional if you do make it out of your regional. But as that regional plays out and you're juggling different opponents and the matchups and what is the winnable game, what is that mental game of chess like for Dan McDonnell?
Well, yeah, I think a regional is interesting. By the way, that regional that was just flashed up on the screen, that is going to, you know, that's going to be a lot of work. Remember, Ole Miss, first of all, you've got the Mike Bianco coaching against his son, Ben Bianco. But you've also got Ole Miss, who was a preseason top 5 team, who have really struggled, but Ole Miss has gotten hot late. So whoever gets Ole Miss as a 2 or 3 seed, that's a headache, right? That's not a great draw. But I think for Dan McDonnell, regionals become about offense. If you end up in the loser's bracket, there's no way to pitch your way out of the loser's bracket. You got to swing it. And Dan McDonnell's got an offense that can do that.
Top 15 in the nation in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage. We've seen it today. It's been fully on display. The 6 runs, 11 hits for the Cardinals, and they are officially 3 times through the order. Noah Smith is looking for his first hit of the day. Bianco, the aforementioned Ben Bianco, just walked. So you got 2 runners on and 1 out for Matt Wyatt. Bottom 5 in this series and regular season finale. Oh, John Mang says yes, Smith did offer.
Let's see. Feels like they always swing. Yep, there you go.
That's as close as it gets, but it looks as if, yes, he certainly went past the plate. Oh, that time masterfully done by Humphrey. He draws the throws. He going to get there? Yes. Just that half a step, that shimmy, that flinch got Wyatt to bite, and the error allows both runners to advance.
Boy, it's so interesting because you're in a good spot. 2 strikes and a ground ball. I don't think Humphrey was going at all. Always nervous when you call those picks at second base. There are other ways you can hold the runner, but now you've created a real pickle for yourself.
1-2's in the air, out to center. Should be deep enough. Newell circles underneath it. His throw is to third. Bianco tagged and moved up as well. 7-0 Louisville.
That's a good job by Noah Smith, and certainly self-inflicted damage if you're Virginia. You've got a hit from Humphrey and a walk, and then you advance the runners. But Noah Smith, I really like the job he does here with 2 strikes. Just gets something out front, gets it to the outfield. You can see he was clearly focused on contact first, and that's good offensive execution right there.
So the leadoff hitter, the number 2 hitter, 4 hitter, 6 hitter, and 9 hitter in the Louisville order has all plated runs. That is even distribution. So, and here is Wyatt. You wisely asked Coach O'Connor about him. You know, Wyatt, a junior, of course. Just that sequence a moment ago on the intended pickoff play. Even just stepping that back right foot off.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of forcing the throw. And instead, maybe there's only runners at the corners. 1-0 is skied into left. Long run for Tappan, but the inning is over. Yeah, that was the third out. Inning over. Louisville adds one more. Noah Smith, the freshman, gets the job done. Back in Louisville, 7-0 lead for the Cardinals. They're trying to close out the regular season strong with what would be a significant series win over Virginia. We've got the head man now, Dan McDonnell. The skipper is joining us just before the start of the 6th inning. Coach, you were just alluding to it, like any great team that's maybe bound for a good postseason run. You and your team, you guys are playoff hockey fans. Like a great team in the playoffs, you bounce back offensively today. Even distribution, when you look at the production up and down your lineup, what have you been most pleased with about the performance today?
I think it's been our theme all year, the balance in our lineup, 1 through 9. Rushing, you don't have to do it. Obviously, Metzinger and we got a few stars on the team, but just a lot of good players and guys that trust each other, and it's kind of been our theme all year is the balance 1 through 9.
Matt, Tate Keener's a real weapon for you guys. He's so versatile. You could start him. You could bring him in here kind of as when the game's on the line reliever. What goes into deciding how to use him?
Oh, I'm sure, Coach Williams does a great job with just the weekend and when's the last time he threw. And, we ran a freshman out there that went through the lineup one time and, kind of like the new thing in pro ball, the opener. And we felt good with 2 innings and we were able to get a lead. And now we have guys like Tate, like Hawks, Schmeltz and some of these older guys that, you still got to make pitches and you got to make plays. But these older guys have been through a lot.
I lied. I'll ask you one more quick one. How would you describe the Tate Keener fist bump after the strikeout to end this 5th inning?
Yeah, he's always been emotional. And like I've always said, with pitchers, I'd rather have to calm them down a little bit than maybe lift them up. And he's been fun to coach, and he competes. And, for college baseball, I think we all know there's usually a little more emotion here at the college level.
Things are looking good for him today. The 3 scoreless plus the 4 strikeouts. Hey, Coach, best of luck to you guys as you begin your postseason run in a couple of days. Thanks for the time this weekend.
Playoff hockey. You got it, guys.
And by the way, there's the jersey behind Coach McDonnell. He says we've got a whole bunch of hockey fans. Sometimes you hear coaches, Mike, refer to players that are really tough, and that's describing their mental toughness. They're gritty, they're grinders, they find ways to get the job done. Geloff is retired, by the way, to get the 6th started. Sometimes that's like the highest form of compliment. You hear a lot of baseball coaches say that player so-and-so, he must have had some hockey in him growing up because he's just tough and he's gritty. You got a whole bunch of them on this Louisville roster, and quite literally, there are a whole bunch of hockey fans too.
Yeah, and Louisville, every coach wants to recruit multi-sport athletes, but I think Louisville they've kind of drawn a line in the sand on it, and that's why Dan McDonnell, ever since he's come to Louisville, they've almost never recruited south. They've recruited north, into Indiana, into Ohio, into Chicago, into Pennsylvania, get multi-sport athletes, and then pile up the baseball repetitions. And I think the other point you just made there, Fitz, just the compete factor, the care factor, the toughness, that's been a staple of Louisville baseball since day one of Dan McDonnell's tenure.
Weak grounder off of Devin Ortiz's bat, 2 out in the 6th. I've got 683 career wins now for the Rye Brook, New York native. Grew up in Westchester County. He played his college ball down in Charleston, South Carolina at the Citadel, which is by no means a power conference, a major college baseball program, but they were phenomenal when he was there. He actually guided the Citadel to a College World Series in the early 90s. So he was there as a player, and he's been there 5 times now as the head coach at Louisville.
It's so interesting, Fitz. Last year, Mississippi State obviously wins the national title, and their head coach was longtime Louisville assistant Chris Lemonis. When Dan McDonald built this program, you know, his first 2 hires were Roger Williams and Chris Lemonis, and Chris Lemonis and Coach McDonald were teammates at the Citadel.
Keener gets that call on the outside edge. Yeah, it's no surprise. Swing and a miss, and Keener is lights out today. He gets Teal on strikes for the 2nd time today. That's now 5 punch outs for Keener and 4 scoreless.